Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
Okay, so we do have Power Conduit, Chalice, Urza Saga. This is definitely a formula for a keep. No caverns. There's just not enough room for caverns. Like when you're playing 4 Saga and all the other Tron lands, like you're very, very light on the number of utility lands you can play, I think. And so, like, while I would love to be playing Gemstone Caverns, like, you need the Cascading Cataracts, you need all 16 Tron lands, you need 2 basics for Boseiju, so playing against regular scales first. Also, Karn gives you a good matchup against regular scales, funny enough. It's like, there just isn't room, I think. We had one as the 20th land, and, like, it was just, like, it just felt like definitely the cut to me. I guess if we end up assuming, or figuring out that Golos is not worth it, then we could maybe end up making that change. Like, you end up cutting the Cataracts for the Caverns and then move into something instead of Golos. But I'm kind of excited about the idea of Golos here. Alright, so not going to remove a counter from the Saga here. End of turn, because I want to start looping stuff. We don't have a key in the stack. Getting Zabaz seems... My opponent's going to be shocked to see Zabaz, maybe. Just getting a blocker here is kind of fun. And I feel like game 1 against Scales, and maybe also just okay to plus. Yeah, when you Power Conduit remove the Saga, you get to keep your Saga around. It's pretty good. Alright, this deck's pretty exciting. You get to net mana tutor every turn? Yep. Get the Ozolith? Getting the Ozolith is so funny here. So we Karn for Ballista? Is there any new card? We have Cauldrons. Hard to imagine there's something better than Karning for Ballista here. Seems also fine to... Well, I guess I might with sack the map to Ravager instead of playing a land this turn. This is a sick board state. Okay, so we also Gemstone Caverns on the side. Like in this, I guess they have like Boseiju. I think I'm just good. They only have like 1 Boseiju. And I want to bring in a Needle. Well, I guess Needle's weird in this matchup, right? Because they have all the same stuff. Yeah, I thought about screenshotting. I don't know. Kind of feel like I'm milking the updated State of Modern stuff a little too much, maybe. But who cares? I'm a content creator. I just milk it. I think we will want the Needle. And then maybe because I'm going down to Golos, I'll just bring in a basic. I think we can find a better screenshot. Okay, mine, Power Plant. What a hand. Let's mull again. I might keep that in the blind. Okay, go back to Golos. Most scale players probably on 4 Force now. That's usually what I'm playing, yeah. I mean, the 4 Forces definitely give them, an edge in this matchup if they are playing it. Spellskite is really good against them. I think I probably want to play my own Hangarback this turn, so I can go like 2-drop plus activate Hangarback next turn, assuming we don't just rip this power plant off the top. We're playing Cauldron Tron is, I guess, the tentative working title. The idea, though, I think to some extent, and there's a chatter put this really well, is that like, and this is something that we've done this in the past too. We're playing like a Prison Tron variant that I called at the time Eldraziless, Eldrazi Tron. But just like in general, in general, there's like the Eldrazi Tron formula is good, but they have Nature's Claim instead of Force of Vigor. The Eldrazi Tron formula is good. Eldrazi Tron itself is not good. Like the Eldrazi themselves are underpowered, rather. Seems like they... Oh, this is what I hate about Pathways. Like, there's a really good chance my opponent would just want to get Zabaz, depending on what's in their hand here, and like they maybe are going to be unable to activate it.
Alright, they're making a token.
Although they're maybe not going to be able to activate it anyways because of my Karn. They get a Zabaz. And maybe, yeah, they are able to activate it. They play a Haywire Mite. So if I go Karn +1, if I go Karn, if they Ballista, I just Spellskite. Yeah, we can untap with our Karn, right? Can we untap and also minus while keeping Karn alive? I guess that's a bigger... Oh boy. Let's go! Keck W, dude. Alright, we're definitely casting this. I could get Golos here. Golos is looking kind of juicy. I boarded out my Cataracts, but then I could get just get like a tower and then Karn for... Although am I gonna be able to Karn again? Jump here. Block, block. Yeah, I guess it won't be. Yeah, I guess punish time. Could just get a ring. Could get a Ballista and go Ravager plus Ballista this turn. Oh yeah, Bridge also seems... Yeah, Bridge seems like the best. Especially with the Spellskite in play.
Also, what happened to my matching Tron lands?
I have matching Tron lands. That must be like the Mana Traders power plants or something. Okay, there's Besage. Oh, of course, dude. The one mountain is in my hand. We have. I can't imagine being this punished by boarding out my Cataracts, and then the mountain is just in my hand. Anyways, when they Besage me, it's okay. I shouldn't be complaining because we're very ahead, I guess. But I guess I could have sacked the Spellskite to Ravager. Yeah, it seems like it's fine. So probably Needle Haywire Mite. How much mana do we have? We have 10 mana. Any reason we're Anakin today? Yeah, it's Halloween. Needle Besage. I mean, two Besage is just so non-standard. But I guess it is better. Since, like, the Might is just going to be turned off forever. And if they do, like... Yeah, we even just, like, if they can't kill the bridge, I feel like we can make an effective block to keep Karn around. It is very funny for us to play against, like, normal hardened scales. Like, round 1 here. Because in theory, this is, you know, I could have attacked with my Thopter, actually. Oops. In theory, this is the deck we're competing against. But there's a lot to like about this build. Like, it seems like it solves the bean problem in a big way. I think it maintains, like, the favorable scam matchup. You're gonna be worse against, like, Tron and Titan, probably. Like, definitely Tron and Titan become, like, much worse, but... There's some stuff to like about it. Okay, Force of Vigor, target my bridge, and target my Ballista. So I'm 1 mana short of activating again, or after this. Let's definitely sack the bridge here. So do I want to use the Ravager to get 2 or 3 more pings? I think I'm definitely killing Ballista. I'm definitely killing Haywire Mite.
think I'm also definitely killing Ravager. So let's just see how they modular with the Ravager before we do anything else. Kind of cool if we beat, you know, Nature's Claim, Beseiju, Haywire, might force it. Obviously, Karn playing a lot of weight, but in theory, this is their edge of the matchup, right? Okay, so we're gonna be chump blocking the Construct then. So seems pretty reasonable to just kill Zabaz. So if I go sack Needle, I can have a five more pings. I can kill the Zabaz, and then if they modulate, I can kill the Hangarback, and I can kill one of the 2 tokens. And then chump block the Construct with my Thopter, and then I have nothing left, but then I have a Karn activation, and then I have Constructs. It should be like easily enough to win. You can kill everything? Oh, right, because the Construct's gonna get really small. Yeah, that makes it like a lot easier, actually. I guess, yeah, so if I go, do I have to sack the Thopter, though? Do you have to sack the Thought? Well... yeah, if I sack the Thopter, I can kill everything. Sack everything with the 2 Thopters. I think I can kill the 2 Thopters, too, right? No, I can kill the Thopters, also. Or no, I leave them with 1 Thopter. I missed that I had to put a point of damage on the Construct. Should be fine. And then this is still being targeted with Force, so let's respond here. Wow. Alright, well, it's gonna be tough for them to win this one. Oh, the Saga's not bad. Definitely gonna minus Karn. Cityscape Leveler seems like just what we need to clean everything up. Although I guess the Power Stone tokens are things they can use. Not that it's the most relevant. Very cool first match. Very funny to play against, like, again, normal scales. With scaleless Tron scales. However you want to call this. Yeah, I could call it Mono Red Tron. Call it whatever you want. This deck is I'm getting like more and more hyped as the moments pass. What's my costume? I am Anakin Skywalker. Cameo maker in the show Ahsoka. He was a pretty interesting side character in the show Ahsoka. Maybe we'll get his own series one day. Not Obi-Wan. Yeah, I thought I might. I think I should have been Obi-Wan instead, honestly. But it was also like Anakin. Esther wanted to be Padme at first, was like matches Anakin a lot better. And then she wanted to be Ahsoka, which Anakin also matches better. And then I get to wear a glove, like a gauntlet, although, which is, yeah, a big W. Balin? Oh, that's... being Balin would be so cool. Maybe I should have been Balin. Balin was so cool. Alright, 2 minutes later, getting attacked for 3. What does this do better than normal scales or normal Tron? Okay, so what it does better than normal scales is, like, have a good matchup against the Beanstalk Omnath deck. This has been a big problem for scales. Like, just everything with the matchup is very tough, and getting access to Sundering Titan off Karn, Golos, this is like a really good way for you to overpower
or over mana them, I think. And this is the biggest thing, while also like maintaining like your like Urza Saga-ness against Scam. What it does better than regular Tron is has a like really low curve, and you're like much better against like Tron disruption. You just get to like cast your spells and play to the board instead of like not getting to do that. I kind of like playing. Okay, let's see if the Cauldron resolves first. If Cauldron resolves, we don't need to get Cataracts because we can spend any mana for Golos. And then we can potentially turn them off Delirium, so Golos can block the Channeler, and so they can't Unholy Heat the Golos. But if they Force of Vigor this, then maybe I just grab Cascading Cataracts. Maybe they're just stunned. I kind of feel like I should just use this now. So I can't block, but like I play a little bit better around Unholy Heat, right? Alright, so they got probably a counterspell up here. I have right now 10 mana plus a land drop. Listen, I didn't come here to not spin Golos. Spin Golos with just your Tron lands in play. It's pretty fun. So we found another tower, so we have 6 more mana after this. Might as well play another Golos and just... I could put Saga into play. I feel like I just want more mana. I just want the 4th tower. Yeah, Cauldron means that any of your creatures can spin Golos. Does seem like they've got a counterspell. I mean, I would obviously love for them to counter this. Is Power Conduit playing really worth it? I mean, it seemed very good last game. I think it. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Maybe I don't want to Ballista for 3. Yeah, I can just Ballista for 1, actually. You ever have 4 Urza's Towers and Urza's Power Plant, Urza's Mine in play on turn 4? Yeah, it's so good for me if they counter this, because I just Cauldron the Ballista. And I can kill the Channeler. And then I can also resolve Karn here. And grab a 1 ring. Can we play Luxior Gyada's Gift to give Karn a counter and start spinning Gardenlos? Well, can. Let's not. I think this is a very good Power Conduit deck, yeah. Oh, they also have Force. Okay, I'm kind of surprised, but they also like need a Bolt to 2-turn clock me for what it's worth, and I can spin Golos a bunch next turn. Yeah, maybe Leveler would have been better. I tried Devoted Druid Cauldron. The problem is when you Devoted Druid, if you turn something into a Devoted Druid, and you put a counter on it, putting a -1 counter on it stops it from being a Devoted Druid. That's the problem. Kind of wish this would auto-spend. Maybe there's a way to make it do that. So you have 9 more mana right now. 11 more mana if we find another Tron land. So I wonder what my opponent's thinking about here. Maybe bolting me now. That would be bad. I mean, if they have a counterspell and a bolt, things might be kind of tough here. We could maybe kill my opponent this turn, though. So what happens if I sack Ravager to itself, put a counter on the Golos, Cauldron the Golos, then I'll have 2 counters. Then I can play all of the 2 mana spells in my hand for an extra Golos sacrifice. I don't think playing Cauldron does anything because I lose the Ballista if I keep it. So this would be 5 counters on the Golos.
So I think I'm putting them to... I think am I 1 damage short? Because 5 counters on the Golos is 8. No, then I can ping them for 5. Turn Ravager into Coretapper. I don't think that does anything. Seems like it's probably just fine to spin Golos again. Ravager into Coretapper. Yeah, Coretapper puts charge counters, not +1 counters. What am I missing? Oh, but if I do that, I can Power Conduit remove both of the +1 counters. Okay, yeah. But then I can't turn Golos into a Coretapper, a Ravager, right? Yeah, oh, I can move the... That's true, I can remove the Saga counter, so that is +1 counter that way. So, let's just say I do that, so 10... Oh, I can also activate Golos as a Ballista 1 time. Okay, so that's 2 more counters, right? That's probably enough. Sorry, my phone's so loud, dude. That's probably enough. Okay, sack Ravager to itself, Cauldron, counter. So, sorry. One from the Ballista activation, 3 from the sacks, 1 from the Power Conduit, 1 from the Ravager, 1 from the Cauldron. That's 7, 10 power, that's 17 exactly. Oh, bro, 27 months. Thank you, welcome back. So if they have another counterspell here and they draw a lightning bolt, we got. What a deck, huh? What a deck. We actually had more damage. We maybe did. As soon as I found the deterministic lethal line, I just like to take it, but maybe we did. Okay, in Caverns. Could be good to bring in second Spellskite over 4th Golos here. 2 extra damage with the free Cauldron. The free Cauldron does not help because if we keep the new Cauldron, then we lose the Ravager Ballista on the Golos, which we need. And if we just sack the other one, playing the other Cauldron does nothing, right? Alright, gonna mulligan this. No Gemstone Caverns, never lucky. This hand works though. We can get a Everflowing Chalice off the Expedition map. Oh, sorry, off the Urza Saga. Good chance I just don't. Good chance I put back the map too. How's this good against Bean decks? You have Karn for Sundering Titan game 1. Golos is a good way to overpower them. Tron in general is good against Bean decks, and this isn't a traditional Tron deck, but overpowering them with your mana is a good way to fight them. Ballista can also just big Ballistas chip them down over the course of the game. Jeroom with the 5. Thank you. Welcome back. CAULDRON Tron. Now that would be a name. Does opponent have Force of Vigor? Do they have Subtlety? They got nothing? Hopefully nothing. For Arena Head Modern, would I play there or not? Maybe. There's a few other factors that would determine if I'd go over there, but in general I would kind of like there to be one client, but Magic Online has more pros also than just having Modern and stuff. It's also not a super relevant question. Wizards can't even get Pioneer on Arena. How are they ever gonna get Modern on here or on there? Economy, yeah, Magic Online Economy is better. I mean that's it. Magic Online Economy is better. Magic Online formats are better. Is there anything else? What else is there, huh? Okay, do you want to play Ravager or play Zabaz? Sorry, Ballista or Ravager. Yeah, I think we played Ballista, and then we tried to block Zabaz and Ragavan, and if that doesn't work, we'll trade here. Player base. I think the player base is more competitive on Magic Online. That's true. Yeah, I think Arena looks prettier, and like the auto tapper is like pretty convenient. Like also like to some extent, like Arena is like the client that has historically been supported by Wizards more than Magic Online, which like also like as a streamer makes me like I want to play with the cool kids. I want to play I want to play the client that. All right, I'm gonna leave this on top, despite it being like a little awkward into like them having a removal spell for Zabaz and cast Ravager. But they only have 2 cards, so they have to have, have to have a removal spell there. Yeah, Arena's on mobile. It being more supported by Wizards is a big deal for sure. It's like, like you want to play the client that Wizards also like gonna like pump resources into and like promote and stuff. Best of one's horrible for limited. Well, they have more than just best for one, right? Or best of one. Like you can play best of 3 competitively, right? Or am I wrong about that? Seeking the Beast. Casting into the Fire. I guess I'm happy they did this before I sacked or anything. Okay, it keeps the card on top with their Consider. It's not a Murktide, thankfully. Alright, go, Coretapper, go. Opponent probably has a counterspell up if they're going to plus their card here, so maybe I just want to lead with my weakest card here. And it's kind of nice that if I play Coretapper, like, as soon as I can find, like, Urza Saga or Everflowing Chalice for Saga, or, sorry, Saga for Everflowing Chalice, or Everflowing Chalice, then, like, it's kind of hard for... most of their removal is just 1-for-1 instead of 2-for-1 removal. So we don't need to be too worried. I think I'm just gonna pass. Also, like they just have a counterspell here. So like, why am I gonna let them use their mana? They only have 3 lands in play. There's a 3-mana black enchantment that gives skeletons +1 in haste. Also makes a body. You should try to build skeleton tribal. Only is that it? It makes the body. Well, send me a link. I'll take a look. Hopefully we could get one more good zombie card. So the exile Scalding Tarn lets them keep up their counter magic. Right, let's see if they counter Ballista. It's better to play Ravager first. 3-mana enchantment. Skeletons have +1/+0/+haste. ETB, make a skeleton. At the beginning of your end step, you descended, pay 1 life. If you do, return it to your hand. That card's really good. It's like insane and limited. Well, it's pretty bad. Not sure how easy it's gonna be to send in limited. I mean, easy enough to like this card is like just like the fact that it's like a repeatable 3/2 haste. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. It seems pretty good, pretty easy to me. Easy enough. Next one, Urza's Tower. Tap Steam Vents, Ragavan, 3 other cards in hand. Probably a counterspell as one of them. So I guess let's bait that counterspell with Walking Ballista, then try to play this Cauldron, which would be really big if it really sticks. They have counterspell and spell pierce. Tough. Yeah, if your skeleton just dies, or although it only triggers on your turn, so you can't block with it. So it plays offense better.
Okay, Force of Negation, Pitch Counterspell, which is actually pretty fine because now their last card is just a Ragavan. Leave my Coretapper's back. So they draw a Bauble for turn. Tokens don't trigger descent. Okay, that's good to know. Another Goblin. A lot of Goblins in the set. 2 mana, 2/2 Death Touch. Beginning of your end step, if you descended, each opponent may discard a card or sacrifice a permanent. If they don't, 3 damage. That is Death Touch, so it just kills your opponent too. So if this resolves, I'm going to get the Everflowing Chalice, I think. It'd be kind of unlucky if it doesn't resolve, but... just really important to like start using these Courtappers, of course. Yeah, works with works with fetch lands. Like basically just says if you have Revolt. That card's not terrible. You could play it in Scam also. Like it's a black and red 2-drop in Scam that if you just play more fetches than Scam currently does will trigger every single turn. Is like probably really annoying for your opponents. People always go punish your effects. You give your opponent a choice, it's not playable. But this triggers every single turn. It like croaks every single turn. It is bad against like the fact that you give your opponent a sack outlet does mean it's bad against like I guess cards that your opponents would like to sacrifice anyways. Worse than Kroxa. I don't know that this card is worse than Kroxa. Kroxa is so slow. Like a big part of the reason Kroxa is kind of nice in the Scam Mirror because it's like a trump card, and this card is worse than Kroxa the Scam Mirror, but it's so much more pressure than Kroxa is. But it might be worse than Kroxa. I'm not saying it's a modern staple, but it could end up playing better than it looks. The trigger is worse than Kroxa is what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, it's a little worse than Kroxa's trigger. It's also very similar. Do I want 2 more mana if I sack this? So I can have 2 floating after I Golos. Which is enough to spin. Seems fine. Oh, I'll have a lot more mana than that, though, if I just get mine, of course. It's so funny to play Golos in this deck, but it's very synergistic with Cauldron. And, good Tron payoff. And I like that you can, ramp into it. And, it finds you... if you have, an Everflowing Chalice draw, you can ramp into it, and then it'll find you your Tron, kind of like this. Okay, Expedition map. Cauldron Ravager, still with, we can go, Karn for Ring. Cool, we're 2-0. Better than the 8-key deck. There's a good chance we keep working on this too. I'm pretty hyped about it. I don't think this will be a 1-stream Andy. Thoughts on having the Hero and Miracle and the Cascade being as the big payoff? I don't like it. People are doing it. The Hero is just fucking underpowered. And if I'm gonna play a 4-drop, I'm gonna play Omnath or Bloodbraid, I think. Or Time Warp as a finisher. I don't know, it doesn't seem very good. I mean, I love, Nihiri is my favorite Planeswalker. I played Jeskai Nihiri for a long time. I really like the card. It to me, just kind of feels like one of these, it's one of these things where it feels like people want it to be good rather than, it is good. But people are playing it, maybe it's good. Okay, nice Natural Tron also. So I wonder if I might just keep the core. I might not immediately sack the Coretapper. The YouTube title isn't called Tron. I feel like that's just confusing. I don't know, maybe it is. One of those sounds better out loud than in the title. Cauldron Tron also rhymes. How blessed are we that we got Ron in the name. Am I doing a video for Ixalan? Yeah, you can expect it. I'm not sure when the full spoiler is supposed to be out or anything. You have Spell Snare or something? Stomping Ground, Bloodstained Mire. Steam Vents. CAULDRON? Yeah, CAULDRON's okay. I really like the CAULDRON Tron rhymes. Of course, everyone always very opinionated on the matter. Okay, so I have 9 mana. I mean, just getting a ring seems pretty good, huh? Anything else? I don't have Cityscape Leveler. I had Leveler earlier today. Get Sundering Titan, I guess. I want to do something with my mana this turn. just play the Ozolith real quick. Because if they have Bolt plus Binding, I don't draw anything. That could be kind of bad. So why would they fetch Shock Sacred Foundry if they don't have Binding? Maybe they think that Binding is like works against the ring. Where if you Binding in response to tap, I don't get any cards, but I will get 1 card if they Binding in response to the tap. Yeah, they could also have Besage You. Yeah, they could have Reprieve, but why would they fetch Shock main phase? Yeah, they just don't know how Binding works. Okay, cool. We'll take that, you know, take the extra card. To an extra Karn. So I have 9, 11 mana, so I'm 1 mana short of Cityscape Leveler, the Binding. One mana short of Sundering Titan. They have the 8 drops, right? Karn can get back Ring. Yeah, I guess just get back Ring seems pretty reasonable. We can play Hangarback Walker as like Archon insurance too. Although I guess the Ring also stops the Archon stuff, which is nice. Yeah, maybe I'll put like Power Conduit or something instead. Okay, now I can Ballista on 2, or Hangarback Walker on 2. So Coffers with Tutors is the best. I mean, I've always liked Profane Tutor and Coffers. It does seem like it's getting more popular. I think Trellon's been popularizing that lately. Doesn't Ozolith get counter? Ozolith only gets counters when creatures leave. So they can put an Archon into play. It doesn't trigger because I have Pro Everything. If they don't kill my card, I'm going to Sundering Titan them out of this game, maybe. Alright, they're picking up Mire. Seems like they're deciding to like creativity or not. They decide to like wait a turn. Try to actually get triggers on the Archon, which seems pretty reasonable. Do they also have Bolt for my Karn? They do also have Bolt for Karn. It's cool that we're like playing these games and my opponent's draws I think are like looking pretty good and like lining up pretty well against like what I have, and we're so far winning anyways. I always think that's kind of an exciting dynamic. So let's play the Saga. And sink all of our mana into big Everflowing Chalice, I guess. Then play Ravager, play Power Conduit. I think when my opponent goes for their creativity, I'm going to... I'm not sure how many tokens I'm gonna make. Like I might sack this Chalice. I might just do nothing. Maybe I should sack the Hangarback and a token so I can block the Shaman. There's like a lot of, I feel like, reasonable options. I do think my opponent's gonna creativity for 2. I have to block the Shaman to stop creativity on 3. Salmon with the gifted sub. Thank you. If we're gonna sack the Chalice, shouldn't we have shrunk it over the bigger one? There's like no reason to not just sink all our mana into that Chalice, right?
Like, I just, like, what else was I gonna use my mana on this turn? I think I can afford to sack a Thopter. This card can do play more than 3 cards nowadays. I don't know what creativity looks like nowadays. Looks like they have Prismari Command. Crop with 19, Salmon with the Gifted Sub, Alcrin with 21, Andy with 11. This is also historically a bad matchup for Scales that kind of looks like it gets better. Okay, kind of a weird target because I just don't. Okay, I guess I do have to sack a bit more to eat this. Probably, yeah. They're also not going to creativity me this turn though, which is huge. Do they also have a Lightning Bolt? Third Lightning Bolt? Second Prismari Command? Main deck fire. Okay, so... Okay, what is happening? Okay, so... There's going to be a total of 6 damage applied to this Ravager. From the Goblin Shaman, the Prismari Command, the fire. This is going to grow to 3. So if I sack 4 more things to this Ravager, it wins this. But they also have the Wrenn and 6, but I could sack something else after that. So I just sacrificed 3 Thopters and a Chalice, I think. Maybe I could sack the Power Conduit over one of the Thopters. Then attack lethal. Hopefully, yeah. Sure would like that to be part of the plan. We also get to, Ancestor Recall off of our ring, and only to sack 3 things. We need to get this up to 7 power, right? Because this says it's 2, 2, 2, so we need to get to 7. So, okay, they concede. That was a very cool game to win. So they do have some Besages in their deck. Usually have a lot more post board. Let's get a little greedy. Alright. It's not a card, it's Karsten's. Oh, weird. I guess I just had this open already. Okay, legendary artifacts. ETB, create a white gnome soldier token, power toughness equal number of artifacts and creatures you control. Okay. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may tap 5 untapped artifacts or creatures transform into. Whenever you use mana, cast an artifact or creature using mana produced by this. Create a one of these tokens. Right on time. Can you be refunded? You're trying to point deck yesterday. I'm sorry I missed it. I don't know if we can refund something that late. Mods can take a look now, or I can just do the deck tech now, Jewel. Sorry, I don't know how I missed it. You should just keep yelling at me. Oh no, wait, hold on. I swear I did this deck tech. Maybe I didn't. Just let me know. I probably didn't if you're saying that, huh? We can't just know the way. Yeah, why don't you just go ahead and refund it then, since that's what they asked for. The name Urza's Tower. So now my Spellskite can tap for colored mana. It's not on the queue, someone marked to finish refunded. Yeah, I thought I had, but yeah, if it's not on the queue, we can't refund it. But you just let me know, Jules, if you want me to do it now, or I don't know. I apologize for missing it yesterday. I do feel like I saw a deck tech very similar to that if it wasn't exactly that one. Preacher of the Schism could be a good 3-drop for Mono Black, no coffers. If that's a new card, I don't have all the new cards memorized. You gotta, describe what it does, or link it ideally. But if you can't link it, at least a little description. That's what I need. So they didn't have a land for this turn. Ravager Ballista seems pretty good. right? They attack with the Shaman. I block with the Ravager, sacrifice the Hangarback Walker, sacrifice a token, eat the Shaman. Alternatively, I can just block, but I think it's probably better to sack. We've got the Spellskite for protection. I think it's basically carbon caution of beans. I need to attack. Oh, sorry, Jules. I wish we could refund you. The build is very cool. I know Sun Titan can... Don't you need multiple Sun Titans to combo with Saheeli? Oh, no, you need multiple Saheeli. I also like the old version of like the Saheeli build I played where you only needed 2 Saheelis. So I'd probably move away from... Like, I'd be like -2, -2 Saheeli, -1 Sun Titan, plus some stuff. Or like open up the flex spots, like main deck, Commandeer maybe. But it does look very cool. Not sure if that's a Deep Fiend deck. It's kind of a lot of top end. So they have main phase, fetch shock, blood crypt, and then attack. Why not attack for 2 there? What am I missing? I don't want my opponent to block, I guess. Or I guess if they block, it's okay. Yeah, probably was better too then. Things could get kind of bad if they have a Prismari command, I guess. 2/4 Death Toucher. When it attacks your opponent, have more life than you, or equal, you make a 1/1 vampire. When it attacks while you have more life than your opponent, or it does equal, you draw a life and draw a card. Yeah, it doesn't seem playable. Just like these 3-mana creatures you have to like untap with are like usually just not very good. So if your opponent has more life, you make a vampire. If you have more life, you draw life, lose a card. Draw. 4 toughness is also like 4 toughness is the new 3 toughness where it like dies to fury. Used to be like 3 toughness was like it dies to bolt. Now it's like 4 toughness dies to a fury. Yeah, we saw the new Rakdos Goblin. It's pretty cool. We also have a deck tech for McGill again. We have my opponent is making Esper mana. Hollowvine. Okay, so like relatively stock Hollowvine or. We've played lists pretty similar to this in the past. Okay, so let's circle back here. So they're destroying my Spellskite, and then they're making a treasure token. So I guess this means they have a lightning bolt for my Ravager. It's kind of not the end of the world, though. What is your Urza's Tower still have the tower type? It might be a graphical bug, I'm not sure. So they're binding on Ballista instead, which is also very okay. Ravager is a good card, dude. Hard card to play around. Interesting. Yeah, I think we just Hangarback X2. Sack at least this here. Well, maybe I didn't need to do that because, like, am I killing the Ren? I think I'm just attacking them. Yeah, let's just attack them. Well, they may need the... Yeah, actually, killing Ren may stop them from creativity X = 2. So I played Ledger Shredder in this build in the past and really liked it. I think 2 Ox is like the correct number. I don't really want to play 3. Yeah, I think I played Ledger Shredder over like the Asmo package. Or maybe it was over the Insolent Neonate. I can't remember. Let me see what my last Hollow One list looks like. Although I maybe have just like slaughtered it. You know what I mean? Okay. So I did stop them from creativity X = 2 on their stuff by killing the Ren. Oh, so I hit Hangarback Walker, so I didn't get any value. It was free roll, no reason to like sack or anything. Okay, so I do have a creature that can trade with the Archon. I'm making Saga tokens. We also have game 3 if we can't get there.
Alright, let me check out my holo. Right, I played... I kind of butchered it a little bit. Wow, I even like have almost exactly your list. But oh, but I was playing. I just like slid in the breaches over Ledger Shredders and then took them out. So what am I not playing? I'm not playing. I am playing Neonate. I am playing Street Wraith. I'm not playing Goblin Lore. I do think you should play Goblin Lore. It's kind of tough. I remember thinking Ledger Shredder was really good though. That's kind of what I would want to circle back to. But I can't remember what I used to play over it. Trying to think what I would. Like, I remember not really ever liking Asmos so much in this deck, to be honest. Like, you could pretty easily just cut, like, the Asmos and the cookbooks. Play 4 Ledger Shredder. I'm not sure what your other flex spot is. You could, like, main deck Fury. Main deck Fury is kind of reasonable. I was like this sideboard, or, like, something close to this, of, like, Leyline, Fury, Magus, Ancient Grudge. These are just, like, the best sideboard cards. Although I'm not sure exactly how they stack up now. I remember liking it a lot at the time. Like, but just all of them play so well in the deck. Yeah, maybe some main deck. Main deck Fury is kind of nice because it, like, triggers Ledger Shredder, lets you connive the same turn sometimes. Okay, Prismari Command to destroy. I'm pretty sure I can Spellskite this, right? Oh my gosh, I need to not spend mana though, because I'm just not making a Thopter token. So a classic deck tech punt. Can't. Yeah, I don't really. I'm not a judge. I can't tell you why this works. I just know it does work. It's because the abilities are separate. I think. I know it's like because everyone knows the Electrolyze thing, right? Where it's like the Electrolyze is one ability that's split into two. This is 2 abilities, I think is the reason why it works. So yeah, I'm not making Tron. I kind of think I'd make a Saga token, get Expedition Map for another Saga. Play the Saga, attack for 1. What else would I play in the flex spots here? And so we're mostly just like saying if you have another creativity, we're gonna go to game 3. Could have had an extra construct, which would have been obviously really important. Put 100% standard creativity. I mean, they played 1. To some extent, like, you know, we play a deck like this, they have Wear Tear, Fire Ice, Prismari Command, Creativity, Prismari Command, Leyline Binding, Alpine Moon. You're just gonna, like, lose these games a lot of the time. But, you know, we have game 3 at least. Maybe you could go back up to 3 Oxen. If you cut the Asmos. I just do want to cut the Asmos. It's just not very good. But you're right. Do we have outs? I don't think so. I don't have any rings in my deck. Can't have Tron. Alright, let's go to game 3. Yeah, we should have paid life on the Spellskite. I was just deck tech punting. Get you in the play for game 3. You have blue cards. You have blue lands in your Hollowvine deck. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you should cut. I took the Hollowvine or the Shreddervine deck. I cut the Shredders just to like see what Breach would look like, and it wasn't good. But yeah, you should have 4 Shredders. I think you should have 4 Shredders. No Asmo, no Cookbook. I just don't think that plan's very good. And then your deck opens up a lot. Like you can play 1 more lands, like 1 more fetch probably. And then maybe you're like main decking 4 Fury. I kind of like love that. And then I would be very stuck on how you'd build a sideboard at that point. Not sure what else you're playing. Do you play Bobble? Yeah, you could play Bobble in these spots. Oh yeah, Goblin Lord. That was the other card. Duh. That was the other card. No, I think this is probably just the deck. You don't need Bobble. You have I think enough other enablers for it. Like you can go turn 1 Neonate into Shredder,
Sack Root Wall, cast Root Wall, trigger it. Fury can triggers it. We played this deck in the past, and I think it was like the best of the builds we ever had, but it wasn't like super good deck either. Okay, on the play against creativity. I'm gonna keep the 6, I think for sure. What is the best way to sequence this? So I could go turn 1 Saga map, sack the map on 2, sack the next map, then have Tron on turn 4. I can also go map. I guess Cauldron on turn 2 is kind of cool because it's good against Rin in 6. I think we're just gonna do this and put back the Golos and. Okay, they kept their 7 so fast. I also like just have the ability to draw Tower of Mine off the top and then feel like a genius. Or draw in, like, you know, the next one. Okay, Coretapper also makes me... Okay, so they don't have a fetch... I guess they could have a fetch land, right? They could easily have fetch land ridden 6, so they kept, like, of that strength, so we'll play the Cauldron here. For blue, do you want to Wonder? You could play a Wonder over the 18th land. That would be fine. I've played Wonder in the past, and, like, I felt like it's okay. I would play the 4th Goblin Lore over the 3rd Ox. It's just like you just need to have like a fast start, and Goblin Lore does that. Nice. I did actually think about Forsaken Monument, but I don't think it's a card you want to play here. But it was one that kind of was on my radar. I think I should try to get Tron online. It's kind of weird because I also want to get Everflowing Chalice for my Coretapper. But I think just play a 1 toughness creature into the Red and 6 feels like the wrong play. How do I feel about Anger being printed into Modern? I think it'd be a cool addition. For the most part, I don't, usually think too much about like old cards that could be printed in. I just like to see new cards, but Anger would be like really safe, I think, or relatively safe. It could be really good in Dredge. Although like most of their creatures intertapped anyways, so it's probably okay. The Boseiju? If they have Boseiju, I can exile their Boseiju with the Cauldron. So this actually ends up being like really, really fine. Just a graveyard hate card. They play another Dwarven Mine. Okay, so we are going to get the Everflowing Chalice this turn. And it's cool that we can Cauldron our Coretapper, so we can just like keep growing this Chalice if or after they use any removal. And so then let's also go. Yeah, let's go play Ravager, play Ballista, and then wait. No, let's use the Cauldron now, so they can't like respawn. So we can always get the Coretapper ability. And I want to get an extra counter on the Ballista, I think. So you got a lot of mana sinks. Could stop them from creativitying here. They have another fetch land. They do get a land back with Red and 6. Okay, they just concede. We're 3-0. That's exciting. That is really sick. This is, I think, towards the bottom of the range of keepable hands, but I'm like kind of into it. Okay, we can do a trophy prediction now. So trophy prediction is for us to win the next 2. And if we win, we'll let it ride. If we lose, we do a 4-1 prediction. No, I'm not going to post the Shredder Vine Cauldron deck yet. I gotta let that one cook a bit. They revealed Gigantha, so I'm relieved to not be playing the Tron Mirror, I suppose. Wooded Foothills, Stomping Ground, Gigantha, Ragavan. And I like that we have turn 2 Spellskite for the Ragavan here and to just making some constructs. So really good for us that they have to play the Boseiju as a land this turn. Holy shit, that was very close.
They actually did that super fast. Probably faster than they reasonably should have, to be honest. Okay, I think that I want to Everflowing Chalice plus Ravager this turn. Second blocker for Ragavan is nice. And this also lets me, like, get Expedition map off Saga, then play Golos, get a Tron piece, the next turn sack the map, have Tron, and maybe enough mana to spin Golos, maybe a little short. Why are Gemstone Caverns main? What would you cut for the Gemstone Caverns? Because there isn't room. You need every single other land so bad, and I don't want to play more lands. Like, I wish we could just play no mountains, but there's just too many Besages in fields. What is their deck? Just red-green mid-range. I thought many times of putting Tron land scales, never about cutting scales itself. Yeah, you just kind of have to. You can't play the green 1-drop. As painful as it is, sometimes you just have to make the the hardest choices require the strongest wills. Yeah, let's stick to the Tron plan here, I think. Do you think it's worth trying Gemstone and Hammer? I think very strongly that the first copy of Gemstone Caverns is correct to play in Hammer, and that I think you should have one main, one side. I feel pretty strong about this. Are they a weird Scapeshift deck? I would really doubt you'd put like Ragavan and Fable in a Scapeshift deck. Ponza, maybe? What is Ponza anymore, you know what I mean? Like, Ridden 6 and Blood Moon play pretty poorly together. Yeah, I think I'm down to save the Spellskite with Ravager. What do you cut for Gemstones and Hammer? I'm Hammer player. I would honestly feel like somewhat comfy. Like, if you're playing 4 Springleaf Drums, to have like 10 white sources. Like, have the mana base be like 10 white sources, 4 Saga, 4 Inkmoth, 4 Drum. Which is a lot of mana sources, but I feel like it's fine. Like I know Pure Steel Paladin is the problem, but also Urza Saga is like gonna end up being a Urza Saga is gonna end up being a white source for you a lot of time. Like, you almost never Paladin on turn 2 anyways. And also, like, Gemstone is like half of a white source. Guess I should let the Surveil resolve first. You can go into 10 planes. Yeah, I think you can just like go up a mana source, like just play the Cavern in the flex spot also is like totally fine. You got options. So I think I'm just gonna spin to win, right? Yeah, Spellskite is so good. Could definitely go up on Spellskites. The first copy is like, I think stronger than other copies for what it's worth. So we can at least get this in the graveyard for Cauldron. Probably grab Tormod's Crypt here. Hammer Splashing Green for Haywire Might. Yeah, I mean, I do feel like a Haywire Might seems pretty good. Let's not attack with the Golos either. Opponent's playing some kind of green-red mid-range deck with like Jund no black with Urza Saga Red and 6 Shaman. We played against something pretty similar the other day actually. It looks kind of cool, but it struggles a lot to have like meaningful interaction for some decks, but maybe you could just play a bunch of Besages. Thought I felt kind of awful when I played it. Did you like copy a list, or did you just like reverse engineer it, or just build it yourself? Doesn't it get destroyed by beans? I think so. Like, I don't know what it's supposed to be good against. It does get to play like a pile of good cards. But I'm gonna rebuild their Delirium. They're missing a type still. Similar stuff with Breach and stuff. Was it Combo Breach or Value Breach? Okay, nice. We get to untap with the Coretapper, untap with the Karn. Okay, we're definitely going to play the tower, right? Yeah. Definitely going to tap this. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, up to 16 mana available to us. Can we kill them? So if I Cauldron... Man, the combo turns are so cool with this deck. Yeah, I can't Cauldron Ravager and the Ballista. I guess I could tutor Ballista. I could tutor Ballista, cast a huge Ballista, and then Cauldron that into a Ravager. Is that ever going to be 12 damage? So, again, 10... Maybe it's very close. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? 10 from the Tron lands, 2, 14, 16. So that's 8. That's 8. And then we go 9 from the Cauldron, 10, 11. So we're 1 short. We can sack... Oh, we can also sack the Cauldron itself, right? Because it's still a Ballista. So that should be Xaxes, right? So let me just... Oh, sorry. Don't want to tap the Chalice yet. I need 2 mana to cast Cauldron. Oh, right. I did miscount that. So maybe I just spin Golos then. Let's go cast Cauldron. Spin. We don't need to tap the Cataract since we have Cauldron in play now. Shouldn't there be a sideboard Zabaz to make flying? I mean, you just have so many sideboard slots, right? So we had an Everflowing Chalice, an Urza's Mine, and an Ozolith. So this is interesting. So I can go Karn for... So I can go Karn for Ballista. I think this works. Let's just do it. Sack to the Everflowing Chalice. Ballista X equals 3. Turn my Golos into an Arcbound Ravager. I guess it has to be the Ballista. Yeah, it's actually not going to be lethal this turn. It's still like a ton of value. Yeah, it's not the right way to put it. More so just like... Board very controlled. Set up well for next turn. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's a better line. Not really sure how we lose from this spot, though. Maybe if they have a second Besage, they can top deck. And then next turn we can turn everything into Ballista. Ravagers. I might have to sack the... If they go minus on the Ballista, I might have to sack the Ozolith. Which would probably be okay. They pinged the Karn, which is fine. Lets them sack the Bauble. Sundering Titan E2 Stomping Grounds. Then on their turn, sack Titan Golos. Command Force, they would just Besage you. That was a cool line. This deck is going to be just like so full of like the coolest lines you've ever seen, I think. It would just let the counter go on the Ozolith at this point, I think. Could do that this turn too. What is their new card? It's a spell.
It's another Rin and 6. Okay, fine. They also have their Bauble draw. Just infinite lines available to us. It's so cool. Kind of seems like the best thing to do might be just Karn Shadowspear. I could just grow this Golos by so much. Like there's a really good chance that this is just lethal. But they almost definitely have to just put their entire board in front of the Golos. Because I'm going to turn it into a Ballista. And it's also a Ravager. And I can pump it. Let's see, I have 7, 9, 10, 11 mana. So I can pump it only 2 times. And then but then I can sack Everflowing Chalice, Ozolith, Chalice, Cauldron. Yeah, I think this is not lethal. Let's see. So I can sack. I guess I don't sack. I can't sack the Cauldron. So 1, 2, 3, and then pump 2 more times. So 5 more counters on the Golos. So it is a 11 power creature with 5 counters. It'll trample over for 5. I can ping them for 5, which isn't quite lethal. So I think we just allow them to chump block and we gain 6. And then we could just spin Golos post-combat. Yeah, literally Hogak. Do they have something? They have like a... Lightning Bolt is the new card off the bauble. That's true. If we sack Shadowspear post-combat, it's 1 more damage, but it's still 1 short. A lot of math here, huh? They did draw something, it seems. They did draw Lightning Bolts. They're bolting Golos, which grows the Questing Druid. So this will be 7, 10 damage here. So I would need to... Right, it's 10. So I need to grow this 3 times in order to keep my Golos around. So sacking this seems pretty free. And then can I pump and then still spin? I can pump once and still spin. And so let's also just sack the Ozolith, I think. I think I'd rather have the Everflowing Chalice. Shoot it before it grows. I think it's just better to trample over it, right? Or just like just win the combat and keep my big Golos. Remember, we don't need to activate Cascading Cataracts to spin Golos when you have Cauldron in play. I feel like sometimes it lets me spam click the colorless mana and sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of weird. So we have Walking Ballista, so I guess I put in the yard. Coretapper and Zabaz. Alright, and then they pack it up. So we're on the draw, but we're also up against like deck that's definitely playing a lot of the Seju's. So I think I'm cutting the Cataracts and cutting a Golos. And then bringing in another Spellskite. Maybe down to 2 Golos in the draw. Seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, this deck's pretty sick. It's just the first draft, too. First draft, first league. If you spun before attacking, did you have lethal? Maybe. It just kind of didn't matter finding lethal so much. Because like, they like have to triple block. And then they just can't win from that position. Where matchups are bad. I guess Cascade and Scam. I don't know that Scam is a bad matchup. Also, like the idea is like building this deck so like you're better against Scam or against Cascade, right? Because you have Karn for Sundering Titan. Like I think you're probably pretty reasonably good against Cascade Beans. You won't beat it all the time, but it seems much better than regular scales against Cascade Beans. And
Like you're still like an Urza Saga Scales deck against Scam. I don't know that like the matchup can like really be that bad. Like you're probably not as good against them as normal Scales are, but you still have like most of the elements that make your matchup good. Okay, 1-5 though. What is the matchup again? We're against this green-red deck. Alright, let's keep... this 5? Our Void Mirror is not a good sideboard card versus Beans. It's okay, but it's not like 2 mana to win the matchup. Like, it gets binding into Fairied really hard. Usually, they're not too unhappy that you spent you spent turn 2 to spend 2 mana to like not really impact the board. And like if you play Void Mirror as Scales, you're going to be in a position a lot of the time where you just can't double spell because you only have one source of colored mana. That happens a lot. And like not being able to double spell is like really tough. Sometimes you can't cast it at all. Sometimes you'll mess up because you cast it. I know those are kind of like weird points or whatever, but I think they're somewhat valid. Okay, we'll try to trade this for the Ragavan, I guess. And then they can might my Saga, so I think I'm probably just going to go map, sack map, and like let that happen. We'll see what happens, I suppose. Can you find some way to flex Patchwork in for scam matchup? Well, you could play Patchwork over Golos, and that might just be correct even, and you can play Gemstone Cavern in the main. Like, we probably need to try that too. But Golos has been good. And I would say Patchwork is like a lot worse with no Shadowspear and no Shadowspear and no... Let's see, they hit Pithing Needle and Wooded Foothills. 2 great cards here, unfortunately. No Shadowspear and no Hardened Scales. I do wonder what they name with the Needle. They also have Delirium. Oh, they have... But they decided to play Alpine Moon instead. Which is kind of like weirdly fine, except they should probably Haywire Might this Expedition map. So block here, take 3. Pretty good draw from them on the play. Ragavan, double Haywire, or like, you know, Might plus Saga for whatever, plus Moon plus Channeler. Pretty good. They probably should have bobbled before Seeking the Beast, right? So that they could get a better surveil. That seems like maybe a little misplay. I'm gonna just kind of hope they don't Haywire Might this. They only have 1 Might. I think it's kind of reasonable to think they might only have 1 Might and like only 1 Needle. And that might be our best avenue to victory this game. Like I don't know that I can win the game if I just like don't try to set up for the map. I can also just draw like power plant next turn and like make them do this. I don't know. Yeah, if we draw a power plant next turn, I'm feeling good. It didn't seem like the Hangarback Walker really did anything either, of course. Okay, so we have exactly 1 more turn. We have game 3 on the play at least. They keep a card on top, so if that card on top is another Lightning Bolt, we go to 1, because we can Spellskite, then we can go Karn for Bridge. Yeah, they are playing Goyf. What's the best version of Prowess? Teamer, Red, Green, or Blue, Red are all bad in the meta. I mean, I would definitely be playing Questing Druid, and I think I would likely be, like, on a splash for at least sideboard cards, if not also Iteration. I don't know. I would play some flavor of Teamer, but I'm not sure exactly how I'd build it. Alright, 4 outs, or we go to game 3. Not the worst place to be. Okay, did not find a 4-outer. Okay, Caverns out. Cataracts in. Probably just 3rd Golos in, but we could do, you know, we have a lot of different options with how we sideboard. Could bring in a Needle for Haywire Might. I kind of don't hate that. Also stops Rin in 6. Yeah, it seems like we'll bring in a Needle. Okay, Mull to 6, Mull to 5. Turn 1 Ragavan all 3 games? That'd be kind of bad. What are you going to do? Top deck Hangarback Walker seems like a fine thing to do. Also, like, really bad to have, like, Drawn Mountain here because of their Besages. They have Rin in 6. Double Channeler. Pretty good. They graveyard 2 baubles, so that must mean the rest of their hand is good too. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised they graveyarded this. Like either of them. Seems like they maybe should not have graveyarded if they were not going to have anything to do this turn. I bet they have a Beseju. I don't know. Maybe I feel like they would have maybe they're going to seek the Beast end of turn or something. I think you graveyard 1 because it means you're double surveil locked for the second. Well, you don't know you have the other one on top. I mean, I would definitely keep the second one if I saw it after the first one, but okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to play Map Ravager and hold up Hangarback Walker activation. What can they have? Do they have a removal spell here? So they're currently not Delirious. They hit the Urza Saga, so that's one more type. Not Delirious. So it does feel like we're likely just supposed to do this. Sack a Hangarback, sack a token, keep my Ravager around. But now they're Delirious. So could it be correct to move over now? Doing so is bad against exactly another Unholy Heat, or I guess another, like, removal spell. I mean, how likely am I going to be able to, like, race the channelers and stuff? I might be able to. It's pretty tempting. It's, like, good against bolts. I think they have 3 spells in their hand, so let's not, but it does feel super close. Oh yeah, they also have Flame Slash in their deck, right? Do we do decks for Salmon and Gilligan? I can't remember the names, but yeah, no Blast under the deck. We're obviously looking kind of good here. Terra Sunder the map. This is like so big for us that they just don't play a land, which they like kind of probably won't because they've been missing land drops, right? Holy shit. Yeah, so and we also get to like dodge a future Flame Slash. I'm pretty into like chomp up a channeler. So a lot of good draws too. Like there's not anything in a deck we can't cast, right? Yeah, we can cast this. I'm going to. I wonder if like I guess they can't block my thing, so it doesn't really matter. Like try to play around something. I think getting the Ozolith seems like it's probably pretty good. Like, I can even just leave the Thopter on defense pretty well if I have the Ozolith in play, right? Not sure if that logic makes a lot of sense. Maybe I should just grab a ring. Why not Cauldron? Well, what's nice is I can cast these things this turn. Yeah, I could get Crypt and, like, shrink the Channeler. Yeah, Crypt also plays around on Holy Heat. Yeah, I just want to get something for this turn. Yeah, I like that Crypt plays around Heat a lot. Let's get Crypt. Crypt has been good so far. Good Ringer Crypt, yeah. Daddy, 4 months. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you. Because a Breach gets them into this game. Yeah, they probably have Breach in their deck, but you haven't seen it yet. Besage my Crypt. Immediately Besage the Crypt. So they also have Heat, I guess. Into Disconnect. What the hell? Daddy with the 4. Aversa with the 2 years. Happy 2 years. Rejoined. I don't think they thought up the Besage very much. I don't know. Maybe they have the Heat. But I feel like they could just like Besage you the Thopter or something. So they do have the Heat. Here's the Heat. That being said, it seems very unlikely that they will be able to kill this other construct with just 2 cards in their hand, and or stop me from being able to minus the card again. And they kind of have to trade Ragavan for Thopter. I think we'll take the trade. Can you get Golos here? Kind of far away from spinning. Coretapper doesn't do anything. Getting the ring seems very good also. Yeah, let's just get the ring. I guess they have like a good amount of ways to exile this still. Bridge. I mean, I think that even though like this gets disenchanted and minded, like at least it comes with at least 1 card. This was their draw for turn, the 4th Mishra's Bauble. Graveyard Mishra's Research Desk. Now that is value. Okay, they name Urza's Tower. Okay, they have no more cards in their hand, but they have the Research Desk and the Bauble. And a lot of selection. Golos without Trumpy seems interesting. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I just like, I think I'd just rather get the ring here. Might have been like a spot where Mystic Forge would be better than the ring. Could be a good spot, a good deck for Mystic Forge also. Spellskite is really nice. 23 cards, no 3rd land. Well, they had 2 Besajus, and they've graveyarded a lot of lands too. Like my opponent has, they've played 2 Besajus, 2 Unholy Heats, Terra Sunder, 2 Channelers, Ragavan, Alpine Moon. they've been doing stuff. Got no cards in their hand. But I may be restarting again. So I can't Golos for Cataracts and play Spellskite. I think I'll just still Golos for Urza Saga also. Yeah, Saga just killed him pretty quick. I should have plenty to do with my mana. Oh. Okay, and then they concede. Okay, so we already have a trophy prediction live. We're 4. Mine, Tower, Power Plant. Gee. I think we'll put back Coretapper. Basic Mountain over. We have a Zabaz for the mountains. Explain the mountain spike. Alright, getting Ragavan a lot. Up against Scam. It's definitely a good matchup to test. Not sure what we're hoping to see either. What turn 2 play. Because Voidwalker's pretty good against me here. Yeah, so we're gonna have to wait till we can like Ballista X equals, I guess we can go Chalice on turn 2. We can go Ballista X equals 4. Although it also kind of seems like maybe my opponent has a thought, like a Grief. Yeah, I kind of like the ability to Ballista X equals 4 next turn. And then like I have a Hangarback to follow it up instead of just like Hangarback gets exiled to Voidwalker and dies to removal spell. Well, that sucks. Yeah, unsurprisingly takes the Ballista. Need another one or a Karn. Pretty bad. Golos would be a good hit too. They have 3 cards in their hand. Getting griefed maybe?
Second Voidwalker. That's pretty good. Alright, come on, Karn, Walking Ballista. Just a Hangarback Walker, unfortunately. I think we play as a 4-4. Because like 2/2/2s aren't very good against the Ragavan with the Voidwalker in play. So technically this is, assuming they don't have anything else, 3-turn clock. They have like Fury for Hangarback Walker, we gotta rip something immediately. And Ballista is like not even really... Is it good enough? Because I can, I guess it's good enough. I can go block Fury, ping, ping, ping. Take a hit from Ragavan. 3/3 plus Ravager. Yeah, 3/3 plus Ravager was maybe better. Then we got Ragavan to scry Cascading Cataracts to the bottom, I suppose. Yeah, I think 3/3 plus Ravager was better. Alright, let's go to game 2. Scam, good deck. Alright, I'm going to bring in second Spellskite. We cutting, maybe fourth Golos. Got fourth Golos. I wonder if we're on to play that game. Yeah, it's pretty different if we're on to play. Because we get to resolve the Ballista. I guess they probably use the treasure token. No, but I can also block the Ragavan. Yeah, if I'm just on to play that game, it's like it's very lopsided for me. Maybe lopsided is not the right word, but I think I would win because I would get to go Hangarback turn 2, block the Ragavan. I guess maybe they thought he's my Ballista that turn instead of play Voidwalker, maybe, but I feel like they probably play Voidwalker. It's kind of hard to play around natural Tron. Yeah, there's a lot of trick-or-treaters in the area. Gonna be busy tonight. Opponent is deep in the tank on their sideboard plan. Alright, let's go. Game 2 on the play. Triple Tower. Probably, I might keep that one if either of the towers is another Tron piece. Go to 5. Okay, not a great 5. Put in Snap Keep 7. Not feeling great, y'all. What if I'm ever just supposed to keep one spell in my hand here to play around Grief Scam better? I don't know. At the very least, they don't have to tank forever on what they're taking. Castable spell. I mean, if we draw Saga, Saga might solo them. They just have, you know, scam Grief into Voidwalker. It's just always the trophy gatekeeper, scam Grief into Voidwalker. Yeah, good run. It's gonna be very tough to win from this spot. Not impossible, but we'd have to draw like runner, like hot ones, like, you know, like mine into Karn. I guess we draw Karn next turn. I guess the problem is they can cast it, but we could get Bridge. Okay. I mean, I like the deck. I think we'll continue to work on it some more tomorrow. I'm gonna sleep on it a little bit. Maybe do some playtesting. Maybe just do some trick-or-treating. But I thought this deck was really interesting. I've also been like trying to hammer it out for a long time. I'm surprised it like went so well. Also, despite, you know, not getting the trophy. Like, it was just exciting. Like, the deck was powerful. It's hard to interact with. It was like fast. It, like has like lots of like that draw potential. Ooh, good one to get back in the deck. It's kind of the same like formula too of like Eldrazi Tron. We're just playing like a lot of good colorless cards, but you are a lot more resilient to Tron hate, and you can like wait some time on getting Tron online. Yeah, I want to try the Karns. The Karns were good. The Karns were good, but we could try a few different things. We could try Patchwork over Karn. We could try Patchwork over Golos. We could try more Spellskites over Golos. Just get a lower curve in general. But Golos was good. Golos was definitely good. And I think the Tron plan makes like less sense without it. It's like Golos is such a good card with Cauldron, such a good card with Tron. The Power Conduits were a little less good than I kind of expected them to. We could trim one or two. It was okay.
Was it charge cataract?